Hello and welcome to CrehanCast 5, filmed here on location in a part of the school where pupils are never allowed to go. And if you look all around me and look what I'm stood in today, you will realise that over the last couple of weeks there have been a number of things that have gone on in this area, and notably some engineers who have come in to take some samples and some surveys away off these grounds. And the reason why they're doing that, pupils and parents, is related to our very exciting plans for school expansion. So look around you right now, and within 12 months, all being well, this will be transformed into a new block for all of our students to come in and to learn in. And we come together as a school community in our beautiful school chapel in prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, Amen. And we'll just take a few seconds in the joy of stillness and the joy of silence to welcome God into our hearts and into our minds today. Saint Augustine famously said that when you sing, you pray twice. And recently, Miss Hancock has encouraged pupils and staff to get involved in a virtual choir and a rendition of one of our favourite hymns at Holy Trinity, 10,000 Reasons. Our prayer for this episode is for us to listen and to sing along with our virtual choir to 10,000 Reasons.
It's time to sing your song again. Whatever may pass and whatever lies before me, let me be singing when the evening comes.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul, worship His holy name.
Sing like never before, oh my soul, I'll worship your holy name.
You're rich in love and you're slow to anger.
Your name is great and your heart is kind. For all your goodness I will keep on singing.
10,000 reasons for my heart to find. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul, worship His holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul, I'll worship your holy name.
A big hello to all of our colleagues and friends at the St. Teresa of Calcutta Multi-Academy Company. Archbishop Ilsley, Holy Souls, hello to you. A big shout out and hello to Claire, to Emma, to Lindsay and all of our friends at BEP. A big hello to you. A big shout out to Ted and all of our friends at the Diocesan Education Service. Hello Ted, hello everybody. And finally, a very, very special hello to Jaden in Year 11 and Jaden's mum, who I know will be watching this cast in the next few days. Hello to you too. And a little bit later on, you will be seeing me take part in this episode's challenge. And I want to thank you for all of the suggestions that have been sent in for me to take part in different things during this week's episode. First of all, I'd like to thank Mr. Garrison for his suggestion of me having a go at the Big Night In Spin Challenge. To the anonymous email who suggested that they would like to see different people in school throw sponges into my face and soak me, thank you very much for that suggestion. I'd also like to thank Mrs. Crehan, my wife, who suggested that I could do a sponsored silence because she's sick of listening to me. So thank you for that, Mrs. Crehan. And then finally, to the anonymous pupil who sent in that they would like to see me running around the field dressed up in a chicken costume. I think that's slightly disrespectful to chickens. And once CrehanCast is all over, I still would like to have a career. So find out a little bit later on to see which challenge I am going to do this week. Hello, and we come back to an introduction of a new segment for CrehanCast this week called Guess Which Member of Staff Works at a Desk Like This. Now you will be provided with a clue and you have to choose from 3 options. So our first desk to take a look at today is as follows. So if we go over here, we can see quite a purposeful learning environment here. We see a calculator on display and some information entitled Equipped for Exams. We have a prayer to St. John Henry Newman on the keyboard. And we also have a little bell. So your clue is this. Sitting here can be a hairy experience. Sitting here can be a hairy experience. So please choose one of these options. Does this desk belong to A, Mr. Morton, B, Mr. Bayliss, or C, Mr. Elliott? And I hope you've guessed correctly, because this desk belongs to option B, Mr. Bayliss, a man who is as much renowned for his beard as he is for his ability to teach RE. And here we are with some key information for this episode. I want to start by giving a huge shout out to all of our wonderful Muslim community who continue to take part in this very, very blessed and special month of Ramadan. You are very, very much in all of our thoughts and prayers, and we wish you all the very best for the coming days and weeks as you continue with your fast. Year 11. Over the last couple of days, you will have received, or you should have received, a letter in the post from Mr. Rodriguez, who gave you an update on where we are currently at with regards to your final outcomes at the end of this year. It's a very detailed letter which includes all of the information that you need to know. Please take an opportunity to read the letter and discuss that with your parents, and come back to us if you have any concerns or questions. Please do that. If you haven't received the letter for whatever reason, please contact reception and we'll make sure we get a letter to you. Pupils, please make sure that you're looking out and having a check off your emails, because you will find a number of things in your inbox over the last week or so. So please take a look at an email from Mrs. McKiernan around our cooking and recipes challenge. It'd be wonderful to see some examples of what you are cooking at home, so please give that a go. Also, look out for an email from Miss Jones, who sent you some details around an opportunity to refresh and update our Holy Trinity prayer book with some different prayers that you could be writing at home. So please look out for that email. And also look out for an email from Miss Hancock, who will provide you with details around the latest opportunity for you to get involved with virtual choir and something different for us all to sing over the next week or so. So please take a look for those emails in that inbox of yours. Food vouchers. For those of you who are eligible to receive food vouchers, we have experienced complications over the last week or two. We've worked very, very hard to overcome these difficulties and challenges, and over the course of the next few days, if it hasn't happened already, you should be receiving notification about your codes for your food vouchers for not only this week, but for the ones that have been missed in previous weeks too. The message from government remains very consistent. We are to stay at home. We are to protect our NHS and social care services. And by doing that, we are saving lives. Over the course of the coming days, our government will be releasing more information about how the country will adapt to phase 2 of this pandemic. I'm not going to speculate as to what can be contained in that information, because like you, I have no idea about what that information will entail. But I'm hoping that we get further clues and an idea around how and when we could return to school and all be back here together again soon. So I would recommend that you just keep on looking at the daily updates from government, perhaps going online to the BBC News website, and if there's any issues or questions at all, please contact school and we will endeavour to update our website accordingly with any key information that is shared with us. Hello and welcome back to Which Member of Staff Works at a Desk Like This? And if we look around, there are some clues. We can see a Nintendo flask, some orange juice, a "You are late for school" slip, a stapler, someone who means business, who sits at this desk. So your clue is: don't be late arriving to this desk. And your options are: is it A, Mr. McCann, B, Mrs. Henvey, or C, Mr. Williams? And your answer is C, Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams has been asked to provide a comment, but he has nothing further to add at this stage. And it's that time of the show that you've all been looking forward to, is when we acknowledge and we shout out for people who are enjoying a birthday over the next few days. A special shout out and happy birthday to Mrs. Sian, who is enjoying a birthday over the course of the next few days. Happy birthday, Mrs. Sian, and a huge happy birthday to all of our pupils, parents and families who are also having birthdays this week. Hats off to you, and happy birthday. And now it's time to announce our competition winners for this episode. Our word challenge was the word nostalgia. And I'm delighted with the large volume and number of entries for this episode's competition. Well done to each and every one of you who entered, but unfortunately there can only be 3 winners. So well done to the following winners: Kushbu Alina in Year 11, you've entered every single week, but now you're a winner. Well done to you. With a joint entry, Rakaya and Rehan Sajid. Rakaya, you won recently, and Rehan, this is the first time you've won. Well done to you. And then finally, in year 10, Mumana Hussein. Well done to you, Mumana. You are a competition winner. And I'd just like to share a short extract from Rakaya and Rehan's entry, because I think it's very thought-provoking for each and every one of us. And they write, nostalgia refers to a sentimental longing or wistful affection in the past. It goes on to say that nostalgia reinvigorates belief that life has meaning as we look into the past and remember happier times. I think that's a wonderful, wonderful thing for us all to go away and reflect upon. And now it's time for this week's word and this week's challenge. And your word for this episode is ascertain. Ascertain. So please send back all of your entries to me no later than Friday the 15th of May. Good luck to each and every one of you. Well done. And welcome back to Guess the member of staff who works at a desk like this. And if we look for some clues at this desk, we will see that this is someone who's very minimalist, someone who doesn't like any clutter, and someone who keeps their desk very, very tidy. So I think it's fair to say at this point we can rule out Mrs. Dorr and Miss Hodson as options for this. But who does work at a desk like this? Time for your clue. This teacher is very much young at heart. Is it A, Mrs. French? Is it B, Mrs. Youngson? Or C, Mrs. Yusuf? And your answer is, of course, option B, Mrs. Youngson, who also gets the special Crehan prize for having the cleanest and tidiest desk in all of Holy Trinity. Well done, Mrs. Youngson. And now it's time for this episode's challenge. So this episode I have decided to not do the sponsored silence, Mrs. Crehan. I'm sorry. Much more fun is to try and soak Mr. Crehan with a sponge, socially distanced from 2 metres away. We have some staff and pupils who are going to attempt to soak me. First up is Mark in year 7. Good luck, Mark. Aim for the head. Don't try this at home, folks. Good effort, Mark. Next up is Julia in year 8. Good luck, Julia. Think of all the times I've upset you. Aim really well. Oh! Oh! Next up is Mr. Jambor. Been wanting to do this for a couple of years. Now's his chance. Oh, Mr. Jambor, being too kind. Next up, Mrs. Kazanji. Oh, never mind. Well done. Next up is Malika in year 7. Oh, nearly Malika. And finally is Miss Evan. Oh, nearly Miss Evans. Oh, wait there, we've got one last minute participant. We have Mrs. Donnelly. Oh, extra soap on this one. Oh,
Miles away.
Never mind. Well done, everybody. I think it's fair to say that Julia's had the best throw. And finally from me, stay home, take care, God bless, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.